Or I think it's maybe the barb. Perhaps the barb that has lunar mats. I can't remember which one though.
Okay.
Okay. And also, I know that this is something that we always used to bicker about a little bit.
Oh.
Okay, but I had very good reason. So I'm starting out with I had a very good reason for what I did that you're probably going to get a little displeased with me about. So right now the inventory stuff is on sale. So I did get a stone for the bank in my inventory with your sin.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be happy to open up packs to like make up for that coin.
Okay. That sounds reasonable.
Well, I didn't do anything else, so that was all that I did. I just it seems like a good time, and it's really aggravating to me. Like,
And we can
overall, not having room for stuff is always very irritating. And it just so happened this is like a brand new sale, from what I understand. I know I didn't notice them. I was looking a few days ago for inventory stones because like four rows is just unreasonable to me.
Smart
Like,
Max.
it just doesn't work. And incidentally, what you might not know on Ion is they still have this nursing event going on. So if you haven't been getting your dailies with your characters, you maybe should.
Okay. Sure.
Just incidentally. Of course, it's up to you, but it's a bunch of free stuff. And eventually you'll get tired of Perfect World.
Never know.
Well, it's bound to happen eventually. I'm not saying right now or maybe even in the next few years, but eventually you will get tired of it. So
That's
it
a
doesn't
fair
hurt.
assessment.
It doesn't hurt to lay a good structure for the future. I was watching a very interesting documentary today about. It started out in the 60s. It was an American study that they did. They studied on like prisoners in prison, which makes sense. But they fed them all this like really insane diet, like
Mm-hmm.
up to 3 times the calories that they would normally eat on these like severely underweight inmates. And they consented because, of course, they promised to lower their time in prison if they consented to this. And they found that some of them, no matter how many calories they give them, they just weren't gaining weight. They just couldn't gain weight. And then the study kind of dropped because obesity got on the rise, and really people being anorexic or just naturally underweight is a small percentage, so nobody cared anymore. And then this British doctor picked back up on this study, and he took like 15 people that had volunteered to do this, and he was feeding them like 10,000 calories a day, which is insane. Like, they were eating just like crazy stuff to be able to eat that many calories. It's very hard to eat 10,000 calories a day. But anyway, they came to find that they tested, all the people they tested on were people that had been slim, like very thin all their lives, and were always saying like, no matter what I eat, I just don't gain any weight. I never gain weight. So they put them on this extreme eating diet where they were eating all these calories. And come to find, some of them actually didn't put on any weight, which they were stumped on at first because calories are going somewhere. They're going to go somewhere. But they were doing all these different tests. They would put them under, like, every time they'd check in to see how many calories they were burning, what their metabolic rate was. And they were finding that these very trim people, like, their metabolisms just, it was working differently. It's like the more food they would eat, the more calories they would be burning. Like,
Yeah.
the higher their metabolism would go, just like higher and higher and higher and higher, just through the roof, like up to like 30% higher than initially. And they're starting to think that there's some
I
sort
think
of
it's
link,
for
like
18K.
not so much genetically, but just, well, I suppose so. It's like genetic disposition. Like, I don't know. It was really interesting and fascinating because I've been
Yeah, I
watching
found
a lot of shows that
Merangelus.
go the other
He
way.
was
So it's
like
like,
a good
it
5
was
minutes
really
into me running
interesting.
away.
And this one little Asian guy, they were finding, because they're going, okay,
Yeah.
like,
Wait,
he
avoiding
wasn't,
you?
they were doing also like body fat index and stuff, and his body
No.
fat index wasn't going up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they were finding he was a very
Not
rare
right now in
case that
Ringcast.
the more calories he made, his body directly made it into muscle instead of fat, which is very rare. And very interesting, don't you think? Like,
Yeah, wow. That's
well, he's
incredible.
severely eating things like he had to like just drink. He was drinking this chocolate drink that was just like ridiculous. Like a glass of it's like 2,000 calories, and he's shoveling all this junk food in, and his body's taking all this crap and making muscle with it, which is unheard of. So now they're trying to figure out like how to mess around essentially with our genetics and try and make that like the new weight loss craze or whatever.
Huh, that would be awesome.
It was just really interesting and different, something that I hadn't really seen before. That was neat. And I was also watching,
Yeah,
they
that
did the
happened to me
study.
before.
This gentleman was like 400 pounds, and so of course he was a volunteer.
See, someone immobilized me,
And they took him in and just did
and then,
fasting,
like,
and he
I did the
fasted
same
for
thing.
an
Like, I did
entire
that
year, and in
post-attack,
a
and he
year he
just kept
didn't consume
auto-attacking, and I couldn't
anything but
stop it.
water, like nothing but water and some vitamins, like no food at all. And he lost like 200 pounds, and there were like no adverse side effects that they could see, like, and it makes sense. They were talking about essentially the whole purpose of that. It's like feast and
Ow.
famine. Your body is just like how bears eat a crap ton before they sleep and hibernate. Your body does the same. It's like getting ready for the famine. It's just the famine never comes. So it's, I don't know. It was interesting to me. It just made me think like theoretically, and we always associate like fasting or not eating with anorexics, but the anorexia thing, the thing is, those people don't have fat stores. Like they don't
Mm-hmm.
have the feast and the famine. So really, I can't see how it would technically be
No, and my
unhealthy
thing
to
was still
fast
taking
for a
forever to
length of
BV.
time as long as you have the fat stores to do it. And almost arguably that it would be more healthy because you'd be good you would be essentially doing what your body is designated to do because you've already stored up the fat and your body's ready for the next phase. You're just not letting it go to the next phase. If that makes any sense.
I can't believe they seriously just left after getting beat the whole time.
So I was thinking so really I can't see how it would technically be unhealthy
Thing
to
was
fast
still taking
for a
forever
length of
BV.
time as long as you have the fats for you. Because you've already stored up the fat and your body's ready for the next phase. You're just not letting it go to the next phase. That makes sense.
I can't believe they seriously just left after getting beat